Bruv, let me hold your hand while I tell you this, okay? I keep getting messages like, slow down, you're too fast. Bruv, if you can't keep up, get the fuck. I'm not here to try and slow down and please you. It's my duty as a guide to your self-improvement, to teach, to talk, and it's your job to listen. So don't be trying to slow me down. The reason I talk fast, think fast, fuck, do I'm fast, because I am fast. Alright, nigga, I ain't your mate. Let's get to the topic for today. What I want to talk about is how addiction is not a habit, it's a bondage. Most people think addiction is about pleasure. It isn't. If addiction were about pleasure, it wouldn't leave you empty. If it were about enjoyment, it wouldn't make you hate yourself afterward. If it were about fun, it wouldn't demand secrecy, repetition, and shame. Addiction is bondage, and bondage always has the same structure: loss of self-command, loss of clarity, loss of dignity, loss of purpose. You don't choose addiction every time, you obey it. That's the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to admit. Why addiction feels stronger than willpower. You can't beat addiction with motivation, because addiction doesn't live in the body, it lives in consciousness. Addiction fills a vacuum. When a man has no inner order, no higher meaning, no disciplined routine, no awareness of God, something else will gladly take the throne. And whatever occupies the throne gives command. That's why you can promise yourself never again in the morning and still collapse at night. Your will is not the highest authority in your life, something else is. A real root is a disconnected mind. Every addiction is a symptom of disconnection. Disconnected from God, purpose, structure, identity, self-respect. When consciousness fades, impulse becomes king. When meaning disappears, pleasure becomes medicine. When discipline dies, escape becomes survival. So people don't drink, scroll, smoke, eat, or watch porn because they love it. They do it because they are trying to feel whole again. And why a God consciousness is everything is that a God consciousness is not religion. It's awareness. It's awareness that your life has weight. Your actions matter. Your body is not a toy. Your mind is not a playground. Your time is sacred. When a man becomes conscious of God, he stops asking, how do I feel right now? And start asking, what kind of man am I becoming? Addiction thrives in darkness. God consciousness turns the light on. And most addictions don't survive clarity. Routine is not discipline. It's protection. People think routine is boring. They don't understand it. Routine is a shield. A healthy routine reduces decision fatigue, limits idle time, trains delayed gratification, restores self-trust, and creates momentum. Addiction grows in chaos, while healing grows in structure. You don't need extreme motivation. What you need is predictable order. Wake up, move your body, do hard things, eat clean, read truth. Read books like Spiritual Man by Watchman Nee, In the Light of the Truth. Books that help you on your spiritual journey. Then learn to pray, because that keeps in communication with God. And sleep, prioritize your sleep on time, bro. There's nothing outside there that is so much fun or enjoyable. There are habits, the anchors, smoking weed, the anchors. And why quitting alone will always fail is because if you only remove addiction without replacing what you provided, it returns stronger. Addiction gives escape, stimulation, comfort, clarity. This is why I would always recommend 2 books first. You start with The Power of Habit and Atomic Habit, because it shows you that for you to really truly cure an addiction, let's talk real terms, forget big words. All you just need is to replace how it makes you feel with something else, and that's a purpose. Like something that you try to get you out of bed in the morning, especially you're enjoying. Mine is writing. I love writing books. I feel like it will help the world. It will leave an impact. So I do that because I know that I know it gives you the same high as a blunt. So it makes me feel much better. It makes me feel complete to write. So you have to pick a hobby that you enjoy, that will pay you, that will distract you from trash. Like, habits can be dropped, can be learned and unlearned. That's the point I want you to pick. And a God consciousness gives meaning. Routine gives you stability. Purpose gives you direction, and discipline gives you an identity. So when those are present, addiction has nothing to offer. The hard truth, and what I hope you learn, is that you don't beat addiction by fighting it all day. You beat it by becoming the kind of person that it cannot control. A man connected to God, a man living deliberately, a man who keeps promises to himself, a man who respects his body, a man who knows his life matters. That man doesn't need escape. He has direction, and direction is the opposite of bondage. This is charity from Discipline Over Everything. Now I'm only going to repeat myself once, just in case the message for yesterday was passed across too fast or you didn't get me. I'm going to try to keep it simple now. Perfectionism is a personality trait involving striving for flawlessness, setting excessively high standards, and being overly critical of oneself and others, often stemming from a fear of failure and judgment. And it can be a double-edged sword driving achievement, but can also cause stress and anxiety and unhappiness when it becomes unhealthy and unrealistic. It's more than just aiming to be your best self. It's a belief that anything less than perfect is unacceptable, creating a cycle of inadequacy, guilt, and shame. How do I know that? I'm speaking from experience. Now, the key to letting go and letting God is in learning to walk in love. God is love himself. God is love. 1 John 4:8. You can't claim to know God without love in your heart. That just makes you walk in contradiction. The only reason life appears to be a struggle and strive for us most times is because since childhood we are told that we must compete, climb ladders, achieve and prove our worth. The love we receive is conditional upon conforming to what our parents and society expects of us. The mind in its need to be loved borrows false dreams and ambitions, conditioned to chase the illusion of status, whispering stuff like no pain, no gain, push harder or else you're not worthy of love. But beneath all that noise, the heart resists because it knows that love is not approval. Love is alignment with the truth, and the truth flows from the heart. Your constant strive for perfection becomes less of a struggle when you realize that you are already made perfect by the only perfect being that exists, God. I wrote that, and it's an article accessible to just those that sign up for CRJ Foundations. It's a few minutes past 6, and live tried.